Hi, welcome to the part 10 of this video series. We are covering the real exam questions related to AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner exam. Going through all of these videos will help you clear this exam. Now, there is a series of videos. I have created a playlist and I would request you to go through all the videos of this playlist. It will elevate your chances to clear the exam drastically. Almost it's guaranteed that you will clear this exam. It doesn't matter if you are coming from a cloud background or not, or if you have cloud experience or not. It will help you either ways. What I'm doing in these videos are I'm going through the real exam questions, and then I'm giving you explanations which is very detailed to understand the concepts. So even if you have not gone through the concepts or Udemy lessons and etc., it still doesn't matter. You can understand those concepts from my videos. The way I am choosing the answers will help you understand the concepts. Like I've told previously as well, in order to clear the exam it is important to also study the Amazon documentation. Usually what I did is I went through the overview sections and I went through the FAQs. So each service has FAQs. For the cloud practitioner exam, it is only important to just whiz through the FAQs, but you should ensure that you read the overview. Let's jump to the questions. Which principles are used to architect applications for reliability on the AWS cloud? You have to choose two answers, and what you have to do is you have to answer reliability. This is your keyword. Let's whiz through the options. First option says design for automated failure recovery. What it means is, suppose you have a car and you want your car to be reliable when you are on long drives or on the road. What you want is there should not be failures, and if there are failures there should be automated failure recovery. For example, a car like Tesla, if you buy a high end version, it gives you that feature for auto inflating your tires. If there is a puncture, it will auto inflate the tires and fix that puncture. That makes increases the reliability of Tesla cars on the road. Hence A would be my first option. Let's go to the other options. Use multiple AZs. So this also will be my second option, because in a region there are multiple AZs. If you have used your one AZ for your applications, and if that AZ fails, then your application can operate from another AZ if you have chosen multi AZ deployment. So this will increase the reliability of your applications. You can access the applications. So B would be my second choice. I have two answers, but still let's go through the other options. Manage changes via documented process. Uh, if you are able, there are various change management process. If you are following the change management process, that means your change management is robust. Uh, D says test for moderate demand to ensure reliability. So when you are testing for moderate demands, or when you're testing for demands, you're actually testing scalability and not reliability. You are testing if the load increases, will your EC2 instance or auto scaling group scale out and span more instances. That is scalability and not reliability. Backup recovery to an on-premises environment. Who does that in life? Your backup recovery, your disaster recovery environment cannot be your on-premises environment. Why would you go to cloud and still maintain the same mammoth infrastructure in your premises or data center? So DE is wrong. Hence, A and B are the right answers. This one is a simple question. What tasks should a customer perform when the customer suspects an AWS account has been compromised? Keyword is compromised. What do you do if uh, your banking account has been compromised? You would call the customer support, right? So in this case also, option E, you would contact the AWS support. That would be your one choice. Since you have to choose two answers, First one would be contact AWS support. What else? Would you not change your banking credentials? You would immediately, right? So, what is synonymous to changing the banking credentials? Rotating the passwords and access keys. This would be my second option. But let's scan through other options. Remove MFA tokens. So, in certain banks, they give you small kit which generates random numbers. Would you remove that token? It doesn't matter because that is not a point where compromise happens. So that would not be the first action you would do. You would instead contact this support, change your passwords instead of thinking that, hey, let's replace the token which generates random numbers. You would not do that. C says move resources to a different AWS region. So if your bank account has been compromised, uh, the credentials has been compromised, would you transfer entire set of money, open a new account in some other bank, say Bank of America, and you are on Chase, and would you transfer all your money? You would not do that. That would not be your first action. Probably that would be your last action when you think that, hey, this bank I cannot trust because it got compromised. So C is not an option. D says delete AWS trail resources. It doesn't matter. See, trail is just creating the logs of whatever is happening wherever, whichever metrics you're tracking. Deleting that will not help you. In fact, CloudTrail logs you should retain to understand what was compromised in the cloud. It's your logs. Let's look at this one. What is an example of high availability in the AWS cloud? Consulting AWS technical support at any time. This is this is high availability of the technical staff. But in the question we are talking about AWS cloud, the infrastructure's availability. So A is wrong. B says ensuring an application remains accessible even if a resource fails. Yes. If your EC2 instance fails, the application should still work in a new EC2 instance. If your availability zone fails, your application should work from a different availability zone. If your region fails, your application should still work from a different region. That is high availability. So B is my answer. Let's check other options. Making any AWS service available for use by paying on demand. This is not high availability. This is just availability. Deploying in any part of the world using AWS regions. This is not high availability. This is flexibility. Hence, we would go with B as the right answer. Which AWS security service protects applications from DDoS attacks with always on detection and automatic inline notifications? So, if you see for DDoS attacks, Shield is a service. As you can see, Shield is having managed DDoS protection. The question says with always on detection and automatic inline mitigations. So we see this option here. Shield has always on detection and automatic inline mitigations. Hence, this is our answer. This question says a company wants to monitor the CPU usage of its Amazon EC2 resources. Which service should the company use? What is the keyword here? The keyword here, the keywords in fact are monitor and EC2. So these are the options. Let's go from bottom to top. Amazon SNS, This is a notification service. It is a fully managed messaging, SMS, email, mobile push notifications. A very different purpose, not linked to monitoring. Hence, D is wrong. Let's look at C. C states AWS Cost and Usage Report. So, cost and usage report will give you the cost and usage of the resources. It will not monitor the CPU usage metrics. It will just give you the cost of that EC2 resource, and hence this is not the right answer. So, cost and usage report, different AWS services provide your usage based billing information at different times. Okay, what is CloudTrail used for? It's a service that enables governance, compliance, operational auditing, and risk auditing. It continuously logs, monitors, and retains activity related to actions to your AWS infrastructure. It will provide event history of account activity, including actions taken through these tools. This is not what we want. So this is the list of metrics that you can watch using CloudWatch. So it has all CPU related CPU usage metrics, and if you go through it, this will answer your question. Hence, CloudWatch will be the correct answer. What is an AWS IAM role? So let's look at the options. A user associated with the AWS resource. So that is an IAM user, not a role. B says a group associated with an AWS resource. This is an IAM group, not an IAM role. An entity that defines a set of permissions for use with an AWS resource. Yes, this is the right answer. D states an authentication credential associated with MFA token. No, this is not a credential associated with MFA token. You can go through the IAM role documentation on Amazon documentation websites. People, please like my videos and subscribe my channels. I can upload more videos for other certification exams also. It will highly increase your chances of passing. If you are focusing on these videos, then you would definitely pass. What are the advantages of reserved instances? So reserved instances, they provide you with a significant discount. Okay, this is what the website states. And compared to on-demand pricing, it can give you a discount of 72%. Big discount. They provide a discount over on-demand pricing. That's what we saw. It provides 72% discount, up to 72% discount. Hence, this is my first option, first answer. Let's look at other options. They provide access to additional instance types. No. EC2 instance, whatever instance types it has, these are the instance types. So whether you use on-demand instance, spot instance, or reserve instance, you will still get the same instance types. Hence, B is wrong. C states they provide additional networking capabilities. No, it's the same instance, same networks available. So this is wrong. D states customers can upgrade instances as new types become available. So if there is a new type added here, it will auto upgrade. So this is not happening only for reserved instances. If this feature is available, it will work for on demand and spot also. Hence, this is also wrong. This is not an advantage of reserved instance alone. E says customers can reserve capacity in any AZ. Yes, this is right. So you can reserve capacity in any availability zone. You can pin that. Hence, A and E will be the two correct answers. If you see here, reserved instances are assigned to specific AZ. Okay, so you can use any AZ. How do Amazon EC2 Autoscaling Groups help achieve high availability for a web application? You have a website like Amazon.com. It should be highly available. What it means is there should be no downtime so that customers across the globe can access it. So what is needed? Let's scan the options. Option A, it states they automatically add more instances across multiple AWS regions based on global demand. So this is not correct. Uh, they add more instances or add or replace instances across multiple AZ. This option B. This is correct. It you have to choose if you want a multi-region deployment, and the adding of the instance is done in the same region, but across multiple zones, multiple AZs. Hence, A is wrong, B is right. Let's see C and D. They enable the application's static content to reside closer to end users. This is a feature of CloudFront. This is not related to auto scaling groups. D states they are able to distribute incoming requests across a tier of web server instances. No, this is wrong. This is not correct. We would go with option B. So please subscribe to my channel and like my videos. How can one AWS account use reserved instances from another AWS account? This is by using AWS organizations for consolidated billing. So if you see this documentation for reserved instances for billing purposes, consolidated billing feature of AWS organization treats all the accounts in the organization as one account. So this answers our question. This question states a customer runs on demand Linux EC2 instance for 3 hours, 5 minutes, 6 seconds. How much time will the customer be billed for? So this is the right answer. There is a per second billing for EC2 instances. There is no rounding per the hour. Which of the following AWS service provides compute resources? Choose two options. So compute resource is EC2, but we do not see EC2 here. So let's check these options. So AWS Lambda, it is serverless compute service. So we got our first answer. So ECS, this is a fully managed container orchestration services. It uses Fargate, which is a serverless compute for containers. So to run your ECS clusters using Fargate, first you can choose to run your ECS clusters using AWS Fargate, which is a serverless compute for containers. So Fargate is a serverless compute, but not ECS. Indirectly, it is giving ECS compute power because you need Fargate for it. Hence, these two will be the right answers. Code deploy is just like deploying or building continuous pipeline such as GitHub, etc. Glacier is a cold storage in S3, and organizations is used for consolidated billing. All three are not compute resources. I particularly didn't like the option ECS. I would have preferred EC2, which AWS service enables users to deploy infrastructure as code by automating the process of provisioning resources. This is cloud formation. You see this? This is infrastructure as a code. Which of the following is a cloud architectural design principle? In this, loosely coupled components, because if different components are tightly coupled, if one fails, everything will fail. So we should not have that scenario. We should not have a single point of failure. That's why loosely coupled components is the right answer. Monolithic system is just one large big system, one large big database for all functionalities, instead of having different schemas or different database for different departments. So hence B is the answer. Which one is a customer responsibility out of these? So patching of operating systems and configuration of security groups. This is the right answer. So underlying hypervisor is on your hardware, AWS manages, and data centers, AWS manage, and firmware upgrades for your network infrastructure, that is AWS's infrastructure. Amazon manages that. Audit and monitor changes of AWS resources. This is AWS config. Assess, audit, and evaluate configurations of AWS resources. Hence D is correct. This one is trusted advisor. You see, it says increase security and performance posture. Who is responsible for configuration management? Both AWS and the customer. OpsWorks, which is Chef and Puppet, is a configuration management service. You can use this, and there is both customer and AWS responsibility. Which service to use for content delivery? CDN is always CloudFront. You see this content delivery, low latency, high transfer speeds. Which service matches this supply of resources with changing workload? This is elasticity. More load, more EC2 instances respond through autoscaling group, that is elasticity. If there is a DDoS attack, whom to inform? Abuse team, AWS abuse team. What are benefits of AWS cloud? Two benefits: A and C, no upfront commitments, provision in elasticity, users have the ability to provision resources on demand, central management of AWS policies, access policies across multiple accounts. What is trusted advisor? Option C, it is a tool to provide automated checks. It provides recommendations for cost, performance, and security. This is trusted advisor, increase security and performance. Which feature allows you to visualize, understand, and manage AWS cost and usage? This is Cost Explorer. And this is correct. Option B. AWS security and compliance reports is always artifact. You see here, it stores the compliance reports and online agreements. Hence B is correct. Where can you host SQL Server database? It's on EC2 and RDS. Redshift is columnar database for data warehouse. S3 is object store, just to store files and exports. You can do a custom installation on EC2 instance of SQL Server database, or RDS also provides. You have an RDS for SQL Server. You have dynamic workload. Which options is cost effective? These two, C and D. C, because it provides you elasticity. You can scale out and scale in when it is not needed. Pay as you go is you don't have capex, only opex. Which of the following are the characteristics of S3? Global file system object store. So S3 is a object storage service. And S3 is global. It uses the same scalable storage that Amazon.com uses for its global e-commerce network. Hence options A and B look correct. Which services can be used across hybrid AWS cloud architectures? Hybrid is the keyword. So these two are correct option. Classic load balancer, you will not get any questions on classic load balancer. It is decommissioned. Auto scaling is a EC2 feature, so not linked with hybrid. Amazon CloudWatch is a default metrics for AWS resources, not for hybrid. So you can see this documentation on integrated DNS resolution for hybrid networks in Route 53. So it supports it, and this supports hybrid connectivity, virtual private gateway. This supports, you see this virtual private gateway, it supports hybrid connectivity. So which methods will you use to add security to IAM? So these two are right options: MFA and enforcing password strength and expiration. This is common sense even for any of your accounts. You see they maintain password strength expiration. Plus, if you have an iPhone or any mobile phone, Android phone, you will see it has multi-factor authentication or two-step authentication. Recognition is used. It's used for ML to scan images. Shield is providing DDoS protection. Security groups is kind of a firewall. So it is, these three are wrong options. Which AWS services is used for read write of constantly changing data? So the keyword here is constantly changing. Glacier is cold storage, not for constantly changing data. RDS is for constantly changing data because you can put your OLTP database on it. Snowball is not for constantly changing data, it is just for one time migration uh, of your in-premises data to cloud. It's a petabyte scale storage device. Redshift is not for constantly changing data because it is a data warehouse, a columnar data warehouse. And you all should remember, whenever data goes to data warehouse, it is not a constantly changing data. Your OLTP is a constantly changing data, but when it goes via ODS to a data warehouse and a data mart, it is almost stagnant data. EFS is storing constantly changing data. B and E are correct. Features of CloudWatch logs: real-time monitoring of your metrics. Metrics may be standard or customized. Adjustable retention of the logs. SNS is used to send emails. It has no link to CloudWatch. You can integrate CloudWatch with SNS, but it is not a feature of CloudWatch. Elasticsearch is like Kibana. This is for search analytics. It's a separate service. CloudWatch is not provided at no charge. There are charges for CloudWatch. Online video content, which services will you use for lowest possible latency? Keyword: lowest possible latency. We have seen in previous videos, whenever you have video content, lowest latency, CloudFront comes by default. It uses edge locations. So CloudFront will provide caching. Where will you keep the video files? We'll keep it in S3. So these are your two options. Netflix keeps its videos in S3 and it uses CloudFront for caching to provide better performance, and edge, it uses edge locations. Which of the following security related services does AWS offer? Uh, Data encryption and trusted advisor checks. Categories of AWS trusted advisor: fault tolerance and performance. So there are 24 fault tolerance checks, 10 performance checks. So you want to deploy applications to servers running on premises. Which tool will you will use? You will use OpsWorks code deploy. You see this blog, it OpsWork, it supports on-premises servers. So code deploy, it manages EC2 instances as well as running on-premises, it will work. Hence, these are our two answers. This is the end of part 10. Please like and subscribe my videos. Subscribe to my channel and like my videos.